I'll see a base of the water tower and some trees, and you'll see some of the same stuff. Then you may see sky through the aircraft. Now, they'll be taking off. They'll climb to 2,000 feet. They'll orbit around the airport, and then on command from our flight ops team will bring the aircraft in over the target area, that black and gold banner or streamer that you see, and they will drop from the airplane an additional group of streamers that are two different sequences as we get ready for our anthem at about 22 minutes past the hour. Sequence will first star Sergeant Brandy Phillips bringing in the American flag as Rob sings our national anthem, and then she will don her announcer's gear, setting herself with that parachute that she came in under, picking up a microphone and providing the narration for the rest of the team. But there will be an added attraction up there as Brandy comes up. Two ladies in the air, two beautiful ladies in the air.
That's right.
At the same time. How about that?
As part of that traditional air show opening, Patty Wagstaff will actually circle the jumper. Now they're coming down there. One of them's coming down a little fast. It didn't unfurl quite all the way, but looks like we're going to send some folks out there to catch them, and maybe we'll just give them back to the Golden Knights and they can use them another time as they fall into the pyro area. As you said, Danny, as they continue to circle and watch where those streamers
close to the large aircraft, and she will be joining another she, Sergeant Brandy Phillips, bringing in the American flag. Sergeant Phillips from Fort Calhoun, Nebraska, and working dirt, Sergeant Ben Borger from Gilroy, California, the garlic capital of America, where they have the big garlic festival there down in the South Bay area. He's doing dirt, he's radioing up information, and keep your eyes on the rear of the aircraft. That target that is Sergeant Brandy Phillips will be very small in the sky and probably augmented by a smoke canister about the size of a soup can attached to a point on her equipment. And the jumper's away. There's the smoke as promised. All right, now tracking down into free fall, reaching terminal velocity, and that's 120 miles per hour. As she streaks towards the earth, now here's the sensation you get. Sensation of speed and noise, and the earth gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you're looking at an altimeter. At a predetermined altitude, you deploy the canopy, the speed goes from 120 miles an hour down to about 22 miles an hour or thereabouts. And from speed and adrenaline, you now get a very quiet, relaxed sensation. As you get close to the earth, you can actually hear music from radios, you can hear the anthem, sometimes you can hear conversation on the ground. And that part is the relaxing part. So we're getting ready. Rob Ryder will be singing our national anthem live on the cue. All right, the canopy is open, now tracking towards the target area. As you can see, the ram air canopy is now very maneuverable. 7 panels inflate and form an airfoil just like the wing of an aircraft and allow for a tremendous amount of directional control, a variable of speed, and pinpoint accuracy landing from 12,500 feet down to a target no bigger than a pie tin. That's the beauty of these. Plus, they're very good at working together with your teammates, forming up close into what we call CRW, or canopy relative work, something that would be dangerous. Made available and made safe by these highly maneuverable canopies. Stacking up, ladies and gentlemen, please join us in standing as Rob Ryder sings our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. person, ladies and gentlemen. Now you recognize that voice. Okay, watch Sergeant Brandy Phillips make her way into that target area right by the black and gold banner. Watch her arms. Watch the hands. The final braking and the final directional control. Down goes the brakes. Right spot on that little 18-inch square target area. Now the parachute will come off. The helmet will come off. She will get a very, very well-deserved drink of water to rehydrate a little bit. She'll be picking up the microphone and providing the narration for the remainder of the team.
These jumpers now separate and prepare to deploy their main parachutes. And there you have the high-flying black and gold of your United States Army parachute team, the Golden Knights. Mr. Charlie Hillard, former team leader of the Eagles aerobatics team, and parachute manufacturer Mr. Steve Snyder, exchanged the first baton in 1958. It was then believed that two jumpers in freefall could not possibly make contact. The parachutes used by the Golden Knights are a flexible wing glider. Constructed of a lightweight, ripstop nylon, these parachutes have an inherent forward speed of 22 miles per hour. To turn left, the jumper will simply pull down on the left steering line. To turn right, the jumper will simply pull down on the right steering line. As the jumper nears the ground, they will pull down on both steering lines simultaneously for the safest and softest possible landing. At 1,000 feet, the jumper does what is called a wind penetration check, checking his distance and speed across the ground. They will then fly a downwind leg, a base leg 90 degrees to the target, then face into the wind for a final approach. It takes a great deal of concentration in order to land dead center on the target. The jumper will keep a close eye on the windsock located in the target area. Once on final approach, the jumper will then shift all its concentration to a small black dot located in the center on the orange X. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have ever wondered what would happen if a parachute did not work, watch closely because you are about to find out. Please watch as our next jumper demonstrates the dramatic cutaway maneuver. As the aircraft gracefully crosses overhead, the jump master gives a crossed arm signal hot target, signifying that the airspace is clear and it is safe to jump. The jumper completes their final gear checks and moves to the door in the rear of the aircraft. You may notice the nose of this aircraft moves slightly left or right as the jump master gives minor corrections to the pilots. The same degree of precision, discipline, and teamwork exhibited by the demonstrators and competitors is also reflected by the Golden Knights Elite Aviation Section. Nicknamed Team 6, the pilots who fly the team aircraft average more than 5,500 flying hours per aviator. And the maintenance technicians who have the mission of keeping these aircraft flying average more than 10 years of military experience. Their expertise results in the safest aircraft possible for the Golden Knights. The jumper is out and the smoke is on. Watch as this jumper glides to his opening point. He is wearing 3 parachutes instead of the 2 normally worn. He will open his first parachute much higher than normal and intentionally cause it to malfunction. Please do not be alarmed as this first parachute begins to streamer. There is absolutely no danger to this jumper. This is our only solo maneuver, yet one of our most exciting. Watch closely for our black and gold canopy to inflate. This is a perfectly good parachute and can be landed. However, the jumper will reach up and release one side of the parachute, causing it to malfunction. This parachute is now accelerating earthward at speeds in excess of 90 miles per hour. It would be impossible for this jumper to survive landing under this parachute, so he will release it completely, return to freefall, and open his main parachute. This is the same procedure a freefall parachutist would use if he were to have a problem with his main parachute. The reserve, or auxiliary parachute used by the Golden Knights, is also a flexible wing glider, such as the one you see now. There are some differences. It is white in color and slightly smaller in wing surface area, with a much greater forward speed of up to 30 miles per hour. This enables a jumper to make it back into any tight situation, such as a downtown intersection or a major league stadium. While each of the jumpers will repack his or her own main parachute, a certified parachute technician must repack the reserve every 180 days, whether it is used or not. The released parachute you see floating earthward will be recovered, untangled, and hooked up to use again. If it does float towards you, please do not attempt to retrieve it. Our recovery team is on its way. At this time, members of the Black Demonstration Team are circling high overhead in our distinctively painted C-31 troopship aircraft at an altitude of 9,000 feet. The jumpmaster is actually looking out the left door of the aircraft. His head is outside in the wind and the cold. Through a series of hand and arm signals, the jumpmaster is relaying heading corrections to the pilot, maneuvering the aircraft to a precise exit point for the jumpers. In a matter of moments, members of the Black Demonstration Team will simultaneously exit the aircraft to form one of the many formations possible to achieve while in free fall. If you have any questions about the many opportunities available in America's largest corporation, the U.S. Army, feel free to contact your local Army recruiter who is here at the show today, or give us a call at 1-800-USA-ARMY. You can also discover the U.S. Army and the Golden Knights on the World Wide Web at GoArmy.com. The jumpers are out and the smoke is on. We now have members of the Golden Knights rapidly approaching speeds of 120 miles an hour. The initial part of the formation is called the base, and it forms quickly as the initial jumpers fly their bodies together while interlocking their arms and legs to form the nucleus of the formation. The remaining jumpers set up slightly above and outside the formation, awaiting the team leader's call. At 9,000 feet, the team leader waves his arms, signaling the outside jumpers to fly to the base. As they fly closer and closer, and there you have our bomb burst maneuver. This is our salute to the attendees of today's show. Watch for the parachutes. Once again, the high-flying black and gold of your United States Army parachute team, the Golden Knights. Now, as you may have guessed, these jumpers are faced with a unique situation. A traffic jam in the sky. They must first gain vertical separation to allow for individual approaches into the target area. To accomplish this, they pull on the front part of the parachute, spiraling down at speeds in excess of 60 miles per hour to set up a traffic pattern, much like you might see aircraft at a busy airport. You may notice that one of our parachutes has slightly different color scheme than the rest. This parachute was designed for our 50th anniversary. During the 2009 airshow season, we celebrate our 50 years of excellence as Golden Knights. At 1,000 feet, the jumper does what is called a wind penetration check, checking its distance and speed across the ground. He will then fly a downwind leg, a base leg, 90 degrees to the target, then face into the wind for a final approach. You may notice this parachute has 7 openings on the front. These allow air to be forced in, inflating the flexible wing glider. You may notice the tail of this parachute curl under. This slows the forward speed while reducing the jumper's rate of descent. Watch as this jumper shows you the full flight characteristics of the Ram Air canopy. As he makes minor corrections, bringing it over the target for a beautiful dead center landing. Not to be outdone by the first jumper, the second jumper brings his canopy over into the target area, stopping all his forward speed and bringing it down for a nice, soft landing. Making minor corrections, watch as this jumper brings it over the target, shutting it all the way down and bringing it nice soft stand-up landing. Watch as this jumper uses all his concentration to bring his canopy right over into the target area, shutting it down towards the bottom for a nice target area landing. Watch as our last jumper brings her canopy over the target area. She is flying our nation's POW MIA flag. Watch as she pulls her toggles down, bringing it down for a nice soft landing. All members of your United States Army parachute team, the Golden Knights. Now, in keeping with the long-standing Golden Knight tradition, we would like to present today's baton, which was flown in freefall, to a distinguished member of today's audience. Mr. Ruben Schaefer has stepped forward and been introduced to the team leader.